Welcome to Heroes of the Cape Fear, where we put the spotlight on those individuals who are inspiring, motivating, and making a big difference in the Cape Fear community. Welcome to Heroes of the Cape Fear. This is Chad Porter, and I am sitting here with Gale Sutton-Karnes. Hi, Gale. How are you?
Hi, Chad. I'm fine. And you?
I'm wonderful. I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to sit down and chat with me a little bit. Tell me what it is that you do.
I am a child nutrition manager with the New Hanover County Schools, and I work at Snipes Academy on Chestnut Street.
Tell me, on a normal day when school is in, how many kids are you feeding?
We generally stick around 350, 360.
Gotcha.
In the mornings, we serve close to 250 to 280
Right.
on any given morning.
So generally, almost your entire population at your school is eating from you. Is that correct?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And we don't have very many that bring their lunches. Most of our children do eat here at the school.
Gotcha. So how long have you been doing what it is that you're doing overall, and how did you get started doing this?
Well, how I got started was I took care of my mother until she passed away, and I was raising my granddaughter at the time, and I needed a job that would fit into her little schedule. So I actually started with the child nutrition in 2007,
Gotcha.
and I later decided I wanted to be more than just a worker, that I wanted to be into management. So I moved around a bit before I got settled.
So managing yourself as a worker and managing others is a big difference, is it not?
Yes, it is. You have to remember where you started at to begin with, because I started at the very bottom just like everybody else did. And you have to remember that you start from the bottom and you work your way up, and not everybody knows how to do everything when they first come in, and you have to be patient and be a teacher.
Sure.
And it sometimes is not easy.
You mentioned the other day that you have worked in, at least helped or done some type of work in almost 13 schools in this county. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. I like to stay busy. That's how I got to Snipes, and I love it. I love getting up every morning and coming to my job, and I've been here for about 10 years.
So I think things that you and I talked about that I will be completely honest, I take certainly for granted.
Right.
I feed my kids. I have luckily been blessed to have money to do that, to provide groceries, to provide food, and to provide 3 meals a day for my kids. I think sometimes we don't realize the hunger issue that is surrounding us, and it affects the young kids as well as the older ones. But the young kids are dependent on someone to do that for them. And unfortunately, it's, like you said, so widespread all over this county. Talk a little bit about what you've seen in your time as far as the hunger issues.
Well, more kids than I care to admit or care to even know about they go hungry. Yeah, scratch that part.
No, you're good.
um, there are a lot of children out there that do not get but one, maybe 2 meals a day. And that is generally from school. They get their breakfast when they come to school, and then they'll get their lunch. And it's sad, but it's not just in the inner city, it's all throughout the county. We have, at our school, all of the children eat free. And we have several schools in the district that are totally free. They get their lunch and their breakfast free. And it's good because you get kids that wouldn't normally come into the cafeteria in the morning. Especially they wouldn't come to get breakfast because they wouldn't be able to pay for it. But since it's free, that opens up a whole new window for them to come in and get food.
I know you've built a lot of relationships with these kids over the years,
Oh
and
yeah,
you've seen them grow, and you've seen brothers and sisters and that have come through. You know the ones who depend on you and your staff to give them nutrition. And when they
right,
at night, they're not getting it on the weekends unless there's another program happening. Sometimes kids are
right,
not even eating over the weekends. Talk to me
right.
about those relationships that you built. And I know right now with the pandemic, you're not able to see those kiddos face to face like you used
No.
to, and what that's like for you.
It's very hard. I was just telling Miss Beckelheimer that I really miss these kids. You hear all the noise during the day at lunch when they're all excited and talking, and they get really loud sometimes, and you have to calm them down. And now the halls are quiet, the lunchroom's quiet. It's very sad not to be able to see them and tell them that we care, we love them, or give them a hug, or just give them a bit of encouragement for the day. And it's going to be even harder realizing that we're not going to get to say goodbye to our fifth graders like they get to do, walk down the hall and you high five them and tell them congratulations. Uh, it's really, it's very difficult. Get really sad about it and start crying, but I look on the positive part that I'm going to get to see them when they come back. Sometimes they'll come back and say hello, but I'm going to get to see the fourth graders again when they come back, whenever that'll be, and the little kindergartners when they come. And I'm sure it's hard on the kids and the parents at this time. I don't know, just having the chance to hug on them and give them an encouraging word I miss that. I miss seeing them.
Well, as much as you miss it, I know that they miss it as well. I'm sure they sometimes that for these kids, coming to school is their safe place. It is the
Yes,
place that they go that they know that they're going to be taken care of and loved on and serviced and, um, like you said earlier, a safe environment. And when
right,
the weekends and evenings it doesn't always feel like that to some of these kids.
right.
And so tell me a little bit about during the pandemic. You mentioned, you're almost doing almost sometimes 275 uh, meals a day and breakfast and lunch. And tell me how that's packaged up, where these kids are accessing these things and how that's working.
Well, when we first started the lunch program, we were just a very few schools open, and we did manage to serve. Our largest number was 669 in one day.
Wow.
That was a lot. And then we opened up, or Imer Smith, our director, opened up more schools, and that kind of helped us a little bit because we weren't so inundated with all these orders, but we knew the need was out there. We packaged them up in styrofoam plates and keep them warm. Buses, we have buses that actually come around now from the school and also the YMCW, and they take a certain amount of lunches and they'll go out to the certain bus stops. And the buses sit there, and then the kids can come up to where they are and get the lunch. We also have parents that'll come and get large quantities at a time to take back to the neighborhood if they're, have a large uh, number of kids in the neighborhood. We also have some people that'll come and pick them up and just take them around door to door to the kids that they know where they are.
Are you getting a chance to have any of them come up to the school and at least see them from a distance?
Yes, we do, and that's a real joy to see them. We can wave at them and say hi, that we miss you.
I cannot imagine what it would be like to be a kid growing up and wondering where that next meal comes from but the passion that you guys have and the drive that you have and the love that you have for the kids, not only just to do your job to make these meals, but to care, like you said, and hug and give them a word of encouragement goes well beyond your scope of what it is that your job description says. But
Mhm.
it's right. And so there are a lot of programs, I think, well, some programs here in this town that are doing things like Nourish NC and the backpack programs at different churches and things like that that are helping
Right.
to provide food during the weekends sometimes
Right.
that when kids don't have those meals coming from the school system. What can, in your mind, can the community do to help out and to serve this need that you're seeing?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is there's a school just about in every neighborhood. To some extent, you have your local neighborhood school. You could contact the principal and see if there's a need, if there's any way that you can contribute your time or even money if people are so willing to do so to help with different programs and volunteering time and just sitting down and reading stories or helping a child with their homework or just going and having lunch with them and talking to them and finding out what they like and what they like most about school. Sometimes it's just all about having somebody to care, somebody to just to look up to. That is the first thing I think that comes to, that would be so easy for anybody to do, is to volunteer their time.
I cannot thank you enough for what it is that you're doing, but I want to give you an opportunity just to tell everybody why you do what you do. Is it for the millions of dollars that you make every single year, or is it because you just love it? Tell us.
I love what I do because the kids will love us back for it. They are eager to please people. I know that some people don't think they are, but they really are. And I just love the kids. They are very dear to me. I miss each and every one that isn't here. And I couldn't do it without my staff. I have a awesome staff that I work with on a day-to-day basis year-round. And that's Jackie Oliver, Misha Boynton, Diane Catarellas, and Rosa Utley. But right now, two of my workers can't be with me, so I have two others, and they're Kimbra Rufkin and Terrell Walker. And I cannot tell you, my job is so rewarding, but these ladies that help me each and every day, they bring a lot to it as well. We all love the children. We all love our jobs and what we do. We could be anywhere doing anything else, but when you see the smiles on their faces or their eyes light up when they see cheeseburgers or cheesy breadsticks or chicken and waffles on the line, it just it melts your heart because you're giving them some nutritious food, but you're also giving them love.
You have found that passion, and I know the kids just absolutely adore you and your staff and what it is that you do. I just want to thank you. I don't think what you do gets enough attention and enough credit. I hope that you know how appreciated you are, and the custodial staff and everybody else that does these jobs behind the scenes. And you're loved and you're appreciated. And anything else you want to say before we close this up?
When you mentioned the custodial staff, that it just touched me too, because they forget us because we are kind of in the background. But I want to say that the custodial staff here at Snipes, they're awesome. The administration is awesome. I've seen so many positive changes since Miss Manning came on board with Miss Beckelheimer and Miss Willis. We're one big team. We all work together for one ultimate thing, and that is to make sure the kids have food, a little light in their life, and hopefully that it'll make their day a little brighter. So I thank you. I am truly honored with this. It's beyond my wildest dreams. Trust me, I would have never dreamed any of this was possible. And this pandemic has really, really shown that we can still make it. We can still work together as a community, as a state, everywhere.
You're awesome. Thank you so much for accepting to do this, and it's my privilege and honor to chat with you, and once we can hug again, I'll come by and see you in person for sure.
Okay.
So I just encourage the community to find out how you can serve and find out how you can give. And I know that a lot of us are feeling sorry for ourselves, that we're having to stay in the house and work has not been what it has, and maybe income hasn't been what it has. But imagine not having a meal, not having the ability to feed your kids, or being a kid at this point and not knowing when the next meal is going to come. I think that brings a little bit of reality to what it is that we're dealing with today, and all of the negative things that you see all over social media today. Let's spread this and share a good message, and hopefully once this is all over with, those kiddos can get back and get that love that they need and deserve. So,
well, we're here at Child Nutrition are trying to reach as many kids. So if they see the buses out there, they need to go to the bus. You know, they might not be hungry right then, but they can stick it in the refrigerator and save it for later.
That's right. You're not turning away any kids that are coming up.
No, we're trying to reach as many kids as we can, the ages from up to 18, and I don't think they'll turn away anybody. I can't imagine anybody turning anybody away if they're hungry. So
awesome. Well, thanks again for everything that you do, and stick in there and keep that smile going and keep that staff happy, and we'll see you very, very soon. Thank you so much, Gale.
Thank you, Chad.